Hi, I'm Candace, and I'm so happy to be reading my book, Grow, Candace, Grow, for Saved with Stories, which benefits No Kid Hungry and Save the Children. So this was written by me and illustrated by Christine Battus, and I hope you enjoy it. Now before I start, there's a little guy named Harry, and he's on every page of the book, and I want to see if you can find him. Spring had finally arrived. For Candace, that means three things: scrumptious picnics, swirly spring dresses, and most importantly, flowers. Big, bright, beautiful flowers. Candace could hardly wait for the colorful blooms to appear. By the time she got to school, she had an idea. She was sure her teacher, Mrs. Fernweather, would like just as much as she did. "We should plant a class garden," Candace announced to Miss Fernweather, smiling widely. Miss Fernweather agreed it was a wonderful idea. So did the rest of Candace's class, especially her best friend, Sophie Rose. Harry, however, wasn't so sure. To grow a garden, you need dirt, and Harry did not like getting dirty. Candace's class got to work preparing to plant the garden. They brought in shovels and seeds, watering cans and buckets, gardening gloves, and special watering hose. When it was finally time to start planting, Candace couldn't have been more excited. Harry couldn't wait for it to be over. Miss Fernweather showed the class how to dig holes. "Not too deep," she said. Then she demonstrated how to place the seeds in the ground and cover them gently with dirt. The class worked together, digging and seeding until their soon-to-be garden was planted. Candace's class stood back to admire their handiwork, but Candace wasn't impressed. There were no flowers, just a big old patch of dirt. "When will the flowers bloom?" Candace asked Miss Fernweather. "Plants need sunlight and just the right amount of water to grow," explained Miss Fernweather. She showed the class how to check the soil. When the ground feels dry, give the seeds a little drink. Then Miss Fernweather gave her class an encouraging smile. "But plants need time, so we must be patient. In about a week, we'll see the seeds beginning to sprout. Then in 4 to 6 weeks, we'll have bright, beautiful flowers." Candace's class checked the garden every day. They watched and waited for the seeds to sprout. Candace tried being patient. She really did, but she didn't see any sign of sprouts. Candace remembered what Miss Fernweather said. "When the ground feels dry, give the seeds a little drink." The ground did not feel dry, but Candace decided some extra water might help. If a little water helps, she thought, then a little more should help them grow faster. So Candace gave them water. Then the next day, she gave them more. And the day after that, even more. When the garden didn't sprout, Candace's class wanted to know why. "It's been a week," said Megan. "The garden had plenty of sunlight," said Christian. "And we gave it just the right amount of water," added Sophie Rose. Miss Fernweather checked the soil. Then she held up a handful of dark, drippy mud. This is very odd," she said, looking up at her class. "Did someone give the garden extra water?" Candace looked down at the ground. "I did," she said. very softly. I thought a little extra water would make the flowers grow faster. I'm really sorry, everyone. The class was not very happy with Candace. The garden is ruined and it's all my fault, wailed Candace. I gave it too much water and now the seeds will never bloom. Harry tried to cheer her up, but Candace couldn't be cheered. That night, Candace tossed and turned in her bed. She couldn't bear to think about her disappointed class or teacher or best friend, and especially about the garden they'd worked so hard to plant. The garden would never be filled with big, bright, beautiful flowers now. The next morning, Candace woke up with an idea. She hurried to school, hopeful Miss Fernweather would like her plan. That's a very good idea, Miss Fernweather said softly. Candace had suggested they try planting another garden, and she promised to only water it when the ground felt dry. Candace worked hard getting ready for the new garden. She went to visit a plant nursery. She read about gardening. She even brought in special seeds as a surprise for her class. The gardener told her the flower seeds would attract beautiful butterflies. When it was finally time to plant the new garden, Candace was excited but a little nervous too. She didn't want anything to go wrong. She and her class worked together, digging and planting. Candace even said a little prayer. When they finished, they stood back and admired their handiwork. Even Harry was impressed. Candace's class checked the garden every day. They watched and waited for the seeds to sprout and plants to grow bigger. It wasn't easy, but Candace waited patiently with her friends. She only watered when the ground felt dry. When time seemed to move slowly, she and Harry tried singing to the seeds. La! At long last, sprouts appeared and soon little plants began to bloom. Small at first, then bigger and bigger. Until finally the flowers Candace had imagined blossomed big, bright, and beautiful. Colorful butterflies flitted and floated through the sea of blooms. It wasn't easy being patient, Candace admitted to Miss Fernweather, but it was worth the wait. Even Harry agreed. The end. I hope you enjoyed it. I loved reading to you, and I'd like to read another book to you again soon. Bye.